High rising and so many triangles interference location and calculations of levels computer adaptation cycles. Rotation interference line conditions, electrical light conditions, program setting, reposition location, computer adaptation interference locations, operation in high system. Modification cycles of Trinity Center and U through track centers. Now, extremely powerful. The Highline Center just came off TikTok. It's all about scanning line interference. It's all about understanding who we are through calculations, especially when you feel comfortable in your own home. It's amazing how it just goes into, those communications, vacuums, line center, and interference location programs, setting, resetting high system location with calculations, modification stream centers, and position location, operation line conditions, all levels. To triangulation line, inner line rotation to its position. Welcome everybody. Generally I here, Space-Time. Space-Time Creator. It's all on my YouTube channel. All information is given to you, all position locations. I have my sender masters. They're intergalactic line centers now. In position locations, experienced at all levels. It comes into your DNA track system. Modifies all signal rotation interference. Operation signals to its location, to its conditions. Today we're going to channel into day 2 position location Bermuda Triangle. The course line center of the atom rotation, set up position location calculations. Going to crew units, squads 1 and 2. The track interference is code signaling right now to fast track line centers. I'm mocking all line center locations of 5,000 channel position locations per second. That's very, very fast. That's the lowest I can go through track interference. Same position locations coming into the anomalies is where they have to really fluctuate faster and faster. Communicate all levels of general. Because it doesn't come position locations. You're channeling high system teleportation line centers. Coming in this way, you're going to miss each other. Right? So you got to come in position. Communicate with each other. Right? Teleportation line centers. Because if you're going you do an 8-line center of audio and interference. You're looping location. So that's amazing. Weather pattern, inline channel, position location off signal. No telegraphing interference location in the calculations. So you're fluctuating. You get gap interference. You're like, oh, yeah, so it's all calculated and modified, right? Calculation interference location, the computer adaptation cycles. Communication line centers, computer adaptation cycles. Computer adaptation line interference location to calculation modification streams. Signal interference location to calculation. Modification on all levels to your placebo cortex line center. Echo line center line conditions, echo chamber communication, vortex communication, and tremor line centers. Calculations is code streaming. Now, code streaming is all about understanding how to weave signal line connections. Let's say you get a line center interference. So you got all opposition locations. You have to learn how to use your voice and grid line centers. It's all position locations, all letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols. Track interference location, line connection, all position. So try to understand more calculations to your avatars, guys. It's most important to understand these things, so all systems, especially when you come into your cells. Modification signals, protons, electrons, photons, everything position locations. It's all about understanding how to use electrical lights, your Merkabahs, communication channels, highlight center interference locations, track interference line conditions to its position. But code weaving is extremely important when you're going to the avatar of distance, high position locations, all levels. Change rotation line centers. So to take these out in line center rotation, signal and position location line conditions. So it's trying to balance everything out, everything around you to core line center. It's very powerful when you come into all position locations. Coming into uniform line center. So it's incredible how we go through high center interference location and calculations. We integrate line centers in all levels of vibration. There's so many different vibration line conditions. Interchange of position location, intergalactic line centers, energy coordinate interference. Galactic surface at position locations to its connections. It's very powerful when you come in that position. All right, 10 minutes, we'll get started. All right, so how's everybody doing so far? Got to get into your voice and grid line centers, channel line and rotation. Amy, how's it going? DJ, how's it going? Jess, how's it going? Gagey, how's it going? Larry, how's it going? Okay, calculations. Gypsy, how's it going? Veronica, how's it going? Don, how's it going? Terry, how's it going? Johnny, Michael, how's it going? Roman, how's it going? Ellen, how's it going? Amy's coming in. Hi, channel interference, location, line connections. Little Jess. Nikki, how's it going? All right. Jenny, how's it going? It's great to see everybody. So day 2, position locations, Bermuda Triangle. Now set up crop circles to turn us in the outer water cities. Interlining interconnections is all level intergalactic line conditions. Sipping line centers. Now, sipping line centers and intergalactic position locations, high line interference. So it's all about understanding, coming first intelligent born line center. It sure understands space position, but it modifies its signals all in position location of the sun. To understand position line centers, you have to understand the sun position and the moon position of you. That's all you have to understand. Fluctuation line condition comes down in position. Right? So you really have to understand how to integrate, interline, interconnect with your system location of fingers, right? Really communicate with the system, right? So if there's anything offline center and you want to change position location line conditions, you have to understand how fast your brainwave system location is, because it's firing wide every single day through calculations. So if you say stop, it stops. You say go, it goes back again, right? So it's amazing how it comes to communication. So anything through healing line center, get position location in the right line hand center. It keeps going to position locations. Now the left is offline center. It's doing something else, position locations, inner line conditions, space line, internal galactic high and system locations, electrical walls, electrical line condition, interference location, interpretation line interference, calculation modification line conditions. So right is always in position location. Left is still traveling position location line conditions, but it's doing something else, the high system. Once the mind leaves the high line center, you come in position location, living the signals in position location line conditions, all level simulation to its high system. So once it gets back in communication centers, if you're getting position location of program and soft signal locations, you can use all levels of your fingers and it just heals you in position line conditions like this. Okay, so it's understanding what's going on through calculation, right? It's all a computer. It's all it is. Resetting position location line conditions. Touching every point line center interference location to all your body system. Okay, know exactly what you're doing, right? Then it goes back in signal. It's all about the cells. Each cell line center has a line interference. It positions its program setting, sets all line center position location, your barcode. Okay, in position locations, you got the moon line center and you got finger point locations, and then you got the sun line center. It signals and summoning line graphs. Now, line graph is position location. You guys have to learn how to use your voicing grids. Highline interference location. In position location, crossover signal. Now you got a box line interference. Take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Fix that. Put that in. Put that in. Put that in. So in position location, you're changed into placebo cortex line. It's amazing when it comes into the mystical line interference. Now, mystical line interference is the graph line center locations when you get in position location and recharging your avatar stream. It highlights its signals in position location, but it helps you out through formation. So as it comes into calculation line connections, it high rotates its line centers. Now, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about in position locations, but you will if you understand the connections to its vibration. All right, so that's how we reach signal locations to our avatars. All right, make sure you get your grounds, question, or comments are after TikTok. Concentration on yourself, nothing else, nothing more. Stay in your geographic patterns, communication, interference of channels. Stay in your avatar system, in your teleportation lights, light communication, inner line conditions, position locations, all right? Into initiation, highlight center interference location, right? Modified signing signals, rotation centers, communication cycles, rotation line centers, and calculation modification strings. Now, co-position locations is all about understanding how to set up crop circle line center. Okay, so the crop circles are set up in high line rotation. Now, I've already done the future line interference and position locations. We started with the calculation. All right, so we got one line center interference, two line interference line conditions, all right, two position locations. Scan line systems right away, high line interference locations. Scanning the high system. Now, the calculation modification comes into the line point system. Now, line point system, understanding all position locations to its calculations. So it channels its high line interference. Now we high position locations coming into the sapient channel. They come at position locations center off system. They calculate and modify high stream interference. They scan line centers right away in high line rotation. Coming in communication cycles, reset line centers. Now resetting a line center is all about changing the high line interference. High position locations, high position locations, high position locations, high position locations. See how it comes up position? See how it's center in the center? So it's like an upside down table. Calculation modification high line rotations, right? Changing the graph line interference, tunnel line interference, tunnel line interference, tunnel line interference, tunnel line interference. All right, so we go in 350,000 line position location underwater line centers. In calculation modification, it streams the system location of clocking channels. Now it's all about reposition locations of 24, 24, 24, 24. Okay, that's position location that comes in calculation line conditions. Setting new crop circles is all about extending division location to its code system. Triangulation line interference location to code setting. Code setting to position of code clocking. Digital line interference location to program setting rotation. Calculation of levels XT1000 line position. Okay, code signal location to crew units, squads units 1 and 2. And position location to GFL. Convenient rebellion line center locations all level. Calculate and modify high line center locations of the cinematic communication intergalactic line interference locations. 30 minutes, have fun. Going to get some water. In position locations, set the frame line center position. Set locations. There we go. Watch signals change position line centers. Float in interference location of calculation. Right? I'll be back. Knowing how to set up geometry setting. Very important to understand anything through water track interference. It's to understand anything through all level positions. Understanding orbit channels. Now, orbit is all line center. Operation 2 is balance. Integrates location, interdimensional line center location, teleportation, wave systems. In calculation, you have to truly understand how to travel. It's all done through the avatar. All right, in calculation, where we are through division. Abby, how's it going? I knew Abby was going to show up. All right. Intergalactic line center and position location, DNA tracking interference location, amber, communication off center line position location, Twitter, intergalactic high line center locations, all levels of the sun, communication the moon. Interline here, position locations, all levels, DNA tracking interference line conditions, open all track line center, position location line conditions, recalibrate frame line center in position location, all structure in position line center, change position location, all levels, intergalactic DNA position line condition. There you go, MB. High rotation interference. Okay, track centers, offline position, back in calculation. All right, so we're modified through signals, top rotation lights, conditional levels, Bermuda triangle, setting new course line centers, new timelines, new locking interference, program setting, reset line conditions. All right, it's all in position. It's all calculated and modified here. So we are picking up the cargo. Tunnels cleared. Sonar activated. Good. Triangle meeting the, yep, Sapiens High Center. Timelines interference. Rogue locations are extremely friendly. So it's all good. Yep. Ready for codes, input, output, new crop. Yep, exactly. So tomorrow is day 3. So knowing exactly which new 3, 1, 2, and 3 centerline interference. So sonars, circles, activation core line center, reset line interference, program setting, position locations, allocate time switch, high channel line rotation. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Amby. Yeah. Communication interference here, guys. So it's amazing how we track interference locations all through teleportation line centers. It's incredible force when you see these things to position. All right, so as we come into high center, okay, the Sapiens are in center position, XT1000 high line rotation. How the crop circles are set up, it's all line interference. So we change the code signal rotation centers, calculate and modify all levels. Okay, so we come into 3 equals, okay, high line center interference locations, okay, 300,000 line channels. Okay. Let's get those zeros in track center. All right. 3 equals 300,000 line track center interference locations. Okay. Times lines equals X, Y. Okay. X, Y position. All right. X, Y position. It's set in signals in rotation centers. Okay. New compute center. New compute center. Ooh, yeah. Compute center. Right? High interference. So it's program location to its calculation streams. Now it's set up in vision. So it modifies its circles, rotates its systems back in calculation. Right? It's incredible force when you understanding code centers and everything through its truck system. Right? So in calculation modification line centers, it comes into levels. Oh, so the 3 line center comes in the high system. Okay, equals line conditions. All right. Box the channel line center, okay, into levels of a new teleportation light stream. Okay, so we have position location line conditions. High channel interference, cross signal line interference, location line conditions. All right. Merkaba channel to high line rotation and calculation. So as it comes in signal, it comes in all levels. The 3 waving line center comes into all level 3. Okay, equals all line center for the 3. Okay. In position locations, 0.5 million. Okay. In high center. It's all calculated and modified. So in triangulation line interference location, we set the code signals to the code waving line channel, rotation of position location to a new Bermuda triangle of a new chakra line center, which changes position locations. It's all about understanding how to use this through division line centers to your timelines. So the timelines come into weaving cycles. Now, weaving cycle sets its position locations. Now we set the high line center. Okay, illuminates the graph system location. This is where it comes into rotations of 4 line systems. All right. There's a 4 line system right there at track locations. Now we set new code centers in high rotation, change interference. Weaving cycles of code weaving line rotations 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, there's 7 line position locations. Now we're retracking interference. Now retracking interference is all about round connecting. Round connecting is box position locations. It's all about channeling interference locations into high levels of its vortex channel. Chamber interference location to its calculation. All right. Now it's set up in signal in the high line center. Now high line center sets up position locations. So this is how it comes in as first line center locations, all levels. An XT1000 comes in position, another XT1000 comes in position, another one in the center line center, the Sapien line interference, box channel line interference locations, bottom track interference. Okay, so we come in position locations, scanning line system. Right, see that? Okay, so as we come into position, the simple line interference comes into the Sapien channel. See how it sets up position locations. Box channel line center, change coordinates line centers to a new TV reception to a location to a high system location. I see how it changes the box system. Now calculates to modify high line stream interference into high center locations of new underwater city line centers across circles in location. All right, so we're going to channel up. Now, teleportation light comes into high formation communication cycles, guys, but it's amazing how we come into communication interference, rotation interference location. All right, 3.5 million line positions underwater city line condition Bermuda Triangle, set up in core line center to new graph stream. So in position, we come into calculations. Now, calculation all levels. Now, the rainbow activation line standards are coming in high system. Let's change the XT1000s into coloration patterns. Rotation, interference, location, line conditions, right? Sapiens are in the center. Now, they're coming in high line center. Okay, very in a hot wave system. Calculation, 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 calculation. We start off the high system, right? So it's all about going down the center. It's like going down a hill. All right, so each time we go down a hill, we change the graph line centers of the crop circle location to its positions, all right? And then there's just slide down high center, the scan position, always scan position of the center line connection interference in high system location to its calculation. See how it comes down in rotation to its clocking system. Now the channel rotation is changing all line centers coming in position locations, all right? So setting up new graph, rainbow after line stream interference of crop circles coming in calculations. So they're all channeling down to the high center. Sapiens come back in center line interference location, the center operation, sets the recourse line center channel. Now we refactor high line centers, a reset position of button communication centers, opens up high line center to a new dimensional loop in high rotation. See the dimensional loop? That's going to graph line center, change in position locations, all levels, division locations, new crop circle line interference location, new Bermuda Triangle line center, water interference locations of 144,000 line condition positions. Ooh-ah. Done through equation. You see it? See the intelligence? You see the intelligence? You see the Egyptian graph? You see the eye circles? There's an Egyptian graph here. Okay? You connect all line center locations at all levels. Pretty cool, eh? All right, so it's set up in signal and rotation center. All right, so as we come in position locations, all about understanding. I really want you guys to understand these things and calculations. So we're going to come into 47,000 box channels, communication around line centers, rainbow activation streams. All right, it's true to understand what you're doing through calculations. I want you to understand how powerful it is to really travel through anything high system line conditions, right? It's incredible when you go through interdimensional intergalactic line rotation in position. All right. So we set up a new simulation graph line center. Now the crop circles are set up position locations, line conditions. Now it's all channeling its high system. Trying to understand communication cycles, rotation interference, triangulation to its program setting, resetting line condition interference location of its channel to its rotation system, calculation modified to high line centers. All right. So box channels interference line conditions. The Sapiens come in position locations. All right, so the Sapiens are here. All right, there's the Sapiens. All right, so they're sending box line channels. Now the box line channels set up the code weaving, digital clock line center. So each box line center location is coming to the line center of 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and so on. In communication all level system locations to its calculations. All right. This is how we channel line centers, water interference location line conditions. 0, 1, 0, 1. High channel line center, 0, 1 line connections, 0, 1 line connection. There we go. Done through equation. It's all set up. All right. So as it's set up position locations, to understand what you're doing is knowing exactly through all levels of teleportation. It high forces your units to understand what you're doing through its modification signals. Right? All channel position location operation. All right. Okay, so as that's set up, okay, all channel line centers offline position. Okay, so in calculations, I'll get you guys in the ground line center so positions. So let's start up a hall system. Now, understanding a hall is understanding how to travel through it. Right? Let's set up the location of a triangle. I'm just show you basic understanding. You start with the triangle. It's not a triangle. It's a teleportation unit. Once you get a higher line system location, now comes intergalactic line system. Circle rotation, circle rotation, circle rotation. That gets confusing, right? Then you have to understand the energy field. Now it's put in an energy field around its teleportation light centers. You got the torical field line center in rotation. See how it comes to position locations? I circles its position locations line conditions. See how it channels to higher line center. So you set up a higher level of an energy field rotation line conditions, right? Look what it looks like. Coffee cup. See? This in position locations is calculated to this. See the window graph? See it's set up in signal? So communication cycles is rotation system, guys, because it's got a handle. A cup of coffee. It's a coffee cup in the triangle line center, location of historical field line condition, circle line interference location, grounds power in the atmosphere position. It's amazing how you track interference. So coming to calculations, you come into the whole level system. I'm just showing you how powerful it is when you can travel through all line centers. So you come into the sun rotation line interference, right? So you come back down in position locations, right to opposition to grounds, okay? Opens up another line center, okay? So it's like a coat rack, right? So in calculations, you set up a new ground line center and interference locations, high position location line conditions going through the center line condition, right? Pretty well, right? Center line interference locations comes into a level system, electrical light in position locations, panel line centers, all levels of locations are Orion's belt. Doing it all line and center locations all through a coffee cup. So it's pretty powerful stuff how you set these things up through all levels. A triangle interference location of telepathy, telecommunication, telegraph line centers. Now the merge interference location comes into this clocking system, changes the position locations of its direction. Now it forces its line center in calculation to 3-line interference in position location to its connection. See how it goes round and round? As it goes around and round, it comes into high line center. So it's like, right? Everything around this position location changes all direction line centers. So it comes in a higher clock center. Like I said, it's supposed to understand the 24, 48, 72, and the 144 window location. Type position location line conditions, acceleration line condition interference. Done by a equation. So as it spins high center line interference locations, the calculations and everything through a high system changes its geometry setting. See how it changes position locations? Now it's all about understanding position locations. This is intergalactic changing. Intergalactic changing. All right. So it's incredible how you change positions all through coloration of position line centers. Now you can change the line center and color it this in a graph line rotation in position. See how it colors in? And you can do the same thing in the high line center, same triangle interference location line conditions. It's incredible force how you do these things in position. See how it changed the line system? Now this is intergalactic weaving, code signal line conditions, right? So it's incredible how you come in position locations, and then when it gets in the high line center, interference location line conditions, it changes position locations, all levels into a molecular light, a high line rotation, of electrical lights, of high line center, of interference locations, of infusion locations, of channel operation line position to channel operation to its intergalactic location. Hooah! Activated the high line system. So, pretty powerful stuff how you go through all levels, all through connections of a coffee cup. So that's how you travel through it. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Once you understand the intergalactic line center, it changes your position of travels. Your geometric line center travel position location at higher levels of the line interference. Now you platitude division location to its interface to location of its channel line center, its operation interference location of channel line conditions, all levels of high receptor interference location, foundation line conditions. So it's incredible force how you high rise position locations to its calculation. I just want to show you how powerful it is when you actually see yourself going through a high line center through a positions of a coffee cup and how you travel through it, through its position. So what is the imagination to creation? You through division. Travel position locations, all levels, geometry line center. So it should understand how to travel through all that, through all condition. Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing, people. Beautiful thing. So it's great to see everybody. Spinal's going around. The energy is flowing nicely here. Track centers are good. Teleportation waves, line centers, 8-line interference, position line condition, all levels of channel line conditions, really good. Track interference location or high systems. All right. As you get in calculations, it's all about understanding how to go through 8-line center. There's an 8-line center. Very easy. There's another 8-line center. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's happened here? Whoa, we're changing something here. In communications, what's going on through direction line system? Well, what do we got here? Oh, we got a flower. Now, one flower line center and position locations. I'm going to show you. You're going to travel through it. Now, we're just going to go through a 2-line loop. There's a 2-line. One arrow, another arrow. One going the same direction line center. In position location line conditions. As it's going around, it's got 2-line system, 2-line system. Now, as that 2 comes back and position location goes around again, it changes the 9-line center of its 1% position location to its calculations. High channel lines, operation line system. So as it comes in position location, it's no longer in 2-line center. It comes in position location equals 3. 3-line center interference. In position locations, now you set the line interference locations. This comes into levels, okay, in high line center of 6 position locations, and this comes into 9-line center. Whoa, 9's at the bottom, okay? Whoa, 12's right here, all right? Back in calculation line center. Now, in that position locations, you come into higher channels. So you come into 3-3, all right? And then you come into 6-3, okay? This is how you change position locations all through flower direction of time center. Now, in high line center, so you're changing your code system locations, 6-3. Okay, let's start off high system location calculations, all over the data stream line centers. Okay, so you come into 6-3 line system. It's amazing how you change the codes, and this is how you heal your body system. You come into 6-3 equals 3-6, what you just finished doing, 6-3 to 3-6. So in calculation, this is wrong, and this is right. Wrong, right. You understand? That's how it calculates. All right, so 63 is its virus. And 36 line center location is its heel. Ooh, interesting how you come to position locations. Isn't that amazing? Virus, heel. Reverse line center locations, all levels of numbers, guys. That's how it allocates time switch. In high position locations, the healing your line conditions, because your body is nothing but a computer adaptation cycles of cells. So understanding the 24 sequence location. Now let's get into that clock centers. Clock line center interference. Okay, so you got one cell in high system. Your cells move in extremely fast line center in calculations. So you got the plasma wall line center, okay, and you got your cell in position location. That's your cell. You can look at our microscope line center. So the computer adaptation cycle has electrical light interference in position location line conditions, electrical lights, right? Now the change of track line center in position locations, you got the red cells in position locations coming in high. All right, the white cells in position location is protecting the high line rotations all around the plasma wall communication of 24 computers. And high rotations, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because you have a 12-track system, right? So as the light changes to dark, then you're entering the other 12-line center. Light position location of dark line system equals line conditions of 24 signal in a 24-hour line system in calculations. So it's amazing how it comes in the high system, all levels, and how you use a 24-line center of a clocking line interference locations to 24 computers in one cell position. Done through equation. Showing you what you go through when you travel position line centers. How it equalizes its position out of its equation line conditions. How you change anything in the high line center interference locations from 63 to 36. Ooh-ah. So it's powerful how you change all level line centers of data stream interference location, letters, numbers, and shapes, and how you put everything back in calculation all levels to its activation line center to all communications to its activation to its condition of its avatar system. So it's truly amazing when you understand position locations, the red cells and the white cells. White cells protect the plasma line center of its computer adaptation of its cell. Red cells come in positional only when you change your negative cycles of vibration. I bet you guys didn't know that, did you? So you create anything that you want to create. As soon as you bring down the vibration line centers, they're in through equation line system. But the protecting line center is its immune system. The audio line center is its audio immune system. It's a calculation to your dietary line center that keeps you in protecting line rotation. Infusion location line conditions of infusion. Opens all track line center position locations to its high system. It's all computerized to its high system line condition interference. It all position location to its calculations. All right. Now, the team really has to understand the calculations. Position locations and modes. Yep. Calculation line streams. Thank you there, Amby. So I know it's a lot to take in, guys. There's a lot going on right now. The communication cycles and rotation system. Yeah. The modification signals, rotation centers. Yeah, it's all in position. Calculation to its high lines. Okay. I got that in equation. So I just wanted to show you how powerful it is and what your body is and what it's made of. I mean, that is a true understanding. You guys have to understand these things. It's so powerful when you guys get into that, right? And that's what you're coming into the intergalactic system. Once you stand position locations at all levels in system. All right. It's incredible force, people. It really is. Okay, that's done through equation. MB, thank you. All right. Back in high center. Okay. So that's all on high rotation. I just wanted to show you what's exactly. So think of your body as nothing but intergalactic in high system locations. All through its cells. Right? How to use the high-line center locations levels from 63 to 36. So it's all about understanding how to change these things. It's all connected to your behavior line center. You got a data stream interference of a T reception line connections. So let's say you're in a box channel rotation in position. Let's go through that connections. All right. Let's say you're a box channel. All right. Let's go through the bunny ears. Let's go through the high dials communications. Right. Let's go through the wind graph line rotation interference, electrical light connection. All right. Let's go through the high line rotation, electrical light interference. Program location to its calculations here, guys. Truly understanding what's going on with the energy, the vibrations, and the frequencies. There's 3 line center interference. Okay. And the harmonic resistance is its position location of its sonar and its wave position location to its calculation. All right. So it's true to understand how to use electrical lights to its box system locations, right? It's amazing how this comes into our line centers back in the 80s where we had box TVs, right? It's pretty incredible how we use these things for vision. So all we have to understand is all the energies of us and how to use the vibration frequencies to its harmonic resistance. It all channels to the high line center locations to, the odds and the evens of 2, 4, 6, and 1, 3, 5. You just have to understand how to basically put these in the high streams. Let's say you get 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's say you get 2 lines, 1 line center, 7 position locations, 3 weather pattern interference. You got a triangle line centers. You got a position location of a question mark. You got triangle line interference line conditions, a position location of calculation. Now, this is data communication stream centers. You guys are coming into levels just in your 0, 1s. You have to learn how to use the 0, 1 to track system. So if the 1 jumps back and 1 on a high line center, you got 101. So you got to change position locations back into 1 over here, and position locations back in track system. That opens up its division locations back in its data stream, back in its box system location, to its antenna, to its high line center, to its energy, vibration, frequency, harmonic resistance. That puts position locations to its high line center, puts in a high line rotation position, travels its position location line connections into high line center to position location of healing. Ooh-ah. Done through equation. So it's true to understand how to use the data stream of you. It's all about understanding the magnetic highway information of you. So think of your whole body as nothing but a data stream, communication of letters, numbers, and shapes. You start off with the 0 line center, 0, 1. You come into position of 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12. The 12 line center comes into position location. So it's like a line and line and line and line. So you got 4 track line centers, letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. And then you get the harmonic resistance location to its channel. It opens all position location line conditions, all levels division locations to your data stream. It highlines its center interference locations, all level position locations. When you go to high line center location to its antenna, communication to the sun communication level. Rotation interference location line conditions. Electrical lights, communication, sonar line interference, waving cycles, interference line conditions. Set recourse line center and position location of your data stream interference. Done through equation. See how it goes by itself? You see how it's moving by itself? I'm not doing anything. It's moving by itself. So it's still going, right? It's doing it by itself, guys. It's moving by itself. Do you see it moving by itself? It's still going, guys. It's still moving. Digital pattern interference, like electrical light connection and position. It just keeps moving and moving until it understands the position location where it is through the sunline center, intergalactic linear rotation line, position, finger point line conditions, interline and position, clock line interference, line conditions, and position locations. Now it's stopped through signal. Ooh-ah. Now, truly understand what I just finished doing is truly understand how things move on through my telepathy. You just saw exactly what I just finished doing through clocking center locations, how it just kept going. Didn't stop, did it? Mind over matter. We'll get into very high line center interference locations tomorrow. You have to understand how to use the graph line center digital pattern interference and keep things going and going and going and going, how it moves on its own system location to its calculation line conditions. Right? It's magic. So watch that again over 10,000 times in Signal. So powerful class. Enjoyed it very much. Calculation modifications, day 3 coming up in position location of Bermuda Triangle. Adios, everybody. Hoo-ah.